Cool. I want to kind of move on now and talk about the kind of other creative pieces that you guys do. So you mentioned, the UGC side of things, and I think you also, you focus a lot on human content, and CGC, I think, is another phrase I've seen from you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you just talk to the kind of those different kind of attributes, I guess, that you kind of look at on the creative side?
Yeah, from UGC, I mean, these are professional actors at the end of the day. I mean, I think every brand in the world has heard of UGC, even if you're using it as just like a lump term to group all human content into. The way that I would just say, like actual UGC creators, has become a whole industry of just these people, whether they're doing it full time or part time, is they've built a portfolio of content that they produce for brands. And I would say it kind of does get a bad rap because people are just like slanging products and they're not posting, but it's just content for that account. But what I've seen and what we found, and we have 5,000 plus UGC creators in our database, is that most of these people, they're not creating content for products that they don't like or want to or interested in. So there's some buy-in there, even if they are getting paid to produce the content. So this is like your cookie cutter, 1 hour approval, creative brief, the whole 9 yards. And then CGC, we've seen it be, this is your most authentic, probably least professional in terms of these people probably have never gone on camera and created content before. So we really guide them, hold their hand. But it's your most authentic. It's coming from your actual customers, people that bought previously without being necessarily impacted or informed or driven to a purchase. Although that's actually that's a separate tangent for another day. Obviously, they were influenced by some ad, right? But they bought without incentivization necessarily, and so we incentivize them further with store credit or a 3-month subscription or something like that in exchange for video testimonials or submissions. We do that through like email and SMS, and that we set up on the brand side to encourage that. And then, we start collecting content. So we've seen anywhere on the CGC side, customer generated content, be anywhere from zero 0.5 to 1.5 submission rate, just based on their email size. So if you have 100,000 customers, this could be 500 videos over time, right? Like obviously not on one email, but it's just ongoing. It's just an ongoing flow. So those are two. We already obviously talked about influencer seeding. So those three play really nicely together because influencer is kind of like that perfect world of authentic, because it's no strings attached, and professional, least authentic, most professional UGC. And then CGC is most authentic, least professional. So it's a good little mix.
Okay. And are all of these content types video focused?
CGC 100% video, UGC 100% video, and then influencer it's open ended. So you get probably 60% conservatively video.
Okay. And will you create, your own statics for brands, like us versus them types of images on?
We do that through 4.0. We do that through static, actually. We have systems in place that we built as 4.0 is kind of being released that we started training on like millions of ad spend. Again, the point of AI is not to be perfect. So it's going to be different from a graphic designer. But for us, it's one, your customer doesn't know, especially for the way that we set up the ad accounts is, we're driving towards new customers, new visitors. So you're not going to notice if you have 4 bullet points on your packaging. It's not going to notice if AI gets 3. Right? Like, so some of these things that like hurdles that we try to get our clients over on AI because AI still is kind of taboo. But we do have those capabilities. What we find most of the time too is like a lot of brands already have a lot of beautiful like static imagery. They've invested in that over the years. So the way that we can really provide value is that human forward content, but we have added that pipeline of creating ads, and we use a lot of data and information to create those ads through AI.
Okay. And for every brand that you work with, will they get all of these kind of services and you kind of double down on what works, or how does the kind of mix of the different creative types work?
It depends on how much they're spending and how much they can afford. Right? Because if we're doing all 4 on a monthly basis, it's pretty pricey. If we're doing 1, it's on the lower end. So usually it just depends on their life cycle as a brand and where they are revenue wise and how much they're spending.
Can you just give kind of rough ballpark numbers in terms of monthly ad spend to justify each of or 1 versus 4 of the different creative types?
Yeah, common question. There's not like a perfect science. I wish I could say for every 150K ad spend, there's like we need X number of assets. The answer is always more. Like you always need more. We always want to give the ad account more. This goes into like the way that we actually structure the ad account to only spend money if you're making money or hitting our efficiency target. Um, so that's kind of baseline. We want more in that account, more opportunities to fund scale, efficiency. Two, if you're spending 50,000 pounds or $50,000, like you don't need 1,000 assets in that account. It's just one, you don't even have that capability because of the ad limits. So you probably have 250 ads that you can potentially launch. So influencer seeding can do that in a month. In combination of your other creative, we could be maximizing that. So that's kind of like the nuance of that question. Now, if you have 1,000 ad limit, obviously we can do more ad creatives, and we can set you up to really scale your ad spend really effectively. And we've done that with many clients where they were sitting at 150 ads, and we took that to over 700, and we tripled ad spend at our efficiency target. So that's just like some of the power of what creative volume can do, as long as you hold performance to accountable, and you can do that through something called cost controls.
And that is what I wanted to kind of go into next. You mentioned there the kind of ad account structure, efficiencies. Talk to me. How does that work in reality? Like, what levers are you pulling there?
Something proprietary to Kinship is just called something called a cost control. It's a cost cap, bid cap, or target ROAS. You, the brand, this goes into forecasting and where that's a perfect marriage. It's just like you, the brand, know the financial outcome that you're looking for from the entire business to new customer acquisition to the in-ad account CPA that you need ultimately to level up to what I just said. Facebook does not know that, for example. So you need to give it guide rails to work with them. And that's what those cost controls are. They control the cost that you're willing to spend on a CPA basis, cost per acquisition. So you want to hold that steady. And then how you solve for spend and unlock more spend and maximize volume is through primarily creative to offers is another huge lever as well.
I want to come back to kind of offers and on-site stuff in a minute, but sticking with the kind of ads point, am I correct in saying that it's social and search, or is it just kind of meta?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do those kind of strategies differ across different platforms?
From a cost control standpoint, we keep Google accountable to our targets as well. So nothing different there. But obviously the nature by which those platforms interact are very different. So Meta definitely, demand generation versus Google demand capture, Amazon demand capture. And like from a Google perspective, you'd want to have your brand campaign, someone typing in Nike, you want a very, very, very high res expectation, like 15x. And then non-brand, we actually set the same target as we do on Meta. So if Google can acquire new customers the same as Meta, then yeah, let's spend. What we find by and large is that it's not as efficient, just by nature of what I just said with the platforms, the way that they work, right? There's already some intent there versus Meta, you're discovering something entirely new that maybe you've never discovered before.
And with your kind of system and prescribed this is what we're doing approach, is that from day one it's all platforms, and is it dependent on kind of these controls and the efficiency, or is it one thing at a time from a platform perspective?
For most of the brands that we're coming alongside, the 5 to 50, $5 to $75 million brand, Meta's still like your hero platform, and Google, and like they're on Amazon, so they might be running Amazon ads. It really depends. Ideally, they obviously already have this set up, so we're just taking it over. If they haven't added it, then we would strongly actually ask and suggest. Most people are running Meta at a bare minimum, but that they would set up Google as well.
Okay. And do you guys touch TikTok?
We do run TikTok, not TikTok Shop, but we run TikTok ads. You can kind of see by the way that I am talking about it. It's just not the next best dollar spent from what we've seen, but we can run cost controls on there as well. They were smart in copying Meta. As far as like the ads manager, we've just not seen it be apples to apples, like or even close, really.
I want to kind of circle back to the offers point. How much do you get involved in offers, landing pages, and what happens after the click?
Extremely. At least from a on a new customer acquisition. From an offer testing, we use a lot of Shopify data, and we the way that we can come alongside, and it's actually a service, is like offer testing and LP development. Like do two LPs a month. Uh, we use Shopify data to come up with like, hey, what are the top products that people are buying? What top two product combinations are people buying most often? Three, four, as a way to come up with bundles. What's a high product, low cogs, like high value, low cogs item that you can offer at checkout for free? Like some of those things, we're using data to actually come up with these offers, and then we're pairing that with a landing page really effectively. So to come up with that strategy.
Explaining offers to someone that isn't like the most well versed, what would you say an offer is?
Good question. At baseline, offer is the product and price, and what's someone willing to pay for it. I mean, product loosely, right? Like, what is the product that they can? Well, that could be multiple products, but what is it, and how much is it? Is like the offer, really.
And in testing different offers, you mentioned there kind of bundles and some other stuff. Are there any kind of specific examples of offers that you've tested that worked kind of really well from that kind of macro point?
Yeah, both of those. I mean, both of the examples that I brought up, like the free gift at checkout, right? So like buying their hero SKU that is the best seller, or even a number two bestseller, and just pairing that with like something that is high value, high perceived value, but like costs you basically nothing to add it. So it doesn't change the unit economics too much. It is becoming a winner in that account because it's like, oh, actually it becomes even more valuable than maybe their best selling product. That's example one. Number two has just been like different bundles at different time periods, right? Like a Father's Day bundle or buy four, get four, like just stuff like that. That's been really.
Okay. And when you're testing offers, what metrics are you looking at to evaluate success?
I mean, it all comes back to the customers getting acquired at our efficiency target. That's the same thing, really.
Okay, so it's not kind of landing page conversion rate or anything like that.
Oh, sure, but I mean that's also reflected that's kind of going hand in hand, right? So we're looking at conversion rate. Obviously, if conversion rate is doubling, that means we're acquiring even more customers at our efficiency target.
Talking landing pages then, so what do you think of when you're kind of like optimizing or testing some of these landing pages? What levers are you pulling on this side?
Similarly to what I was just talking about, like different eliminating distraction, eliminating other things for people to do that other than just buy the dang product. Eliminating distraction, meaning like there's not a pop up happening right when I land on the page and all I want to do is buy the product. Thinking of creating a synonymous experience, so the ad that I just saw when I click on and land on the landing page is actually the same ad. All these things are ways that you can get a lot better, and just keeping it. Honestly, the way that we're doing landing pages, it's KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? Like it's don't reinvent the wheel if you don't have to.